Sup guys, and I just thought I'd show you some things that I've found out over the course of learning to encode video for shitty internet connections. So, the first thing you're going to need to do is change some of your settings on your rendering program, which I use Vegas. It doesn't really matter what you use, but it works best if you do something similar to this. What you're going to want to do is set your bit rates extremely high, and it doesn't matter if you keep it on 2 pass, but you don't really need to. Just set it really high. Like I have the 1080 preset set to 24 million. It doesn't really matter. Just pick something really high. And it doesn't really matter if you use OpenCL, because the kind of difference you're going to notice for something at this high quality when you're just using pre-existing video isn't going to be that high. If you're rendering something from scratch, then you're going to want to use CPU only, but you can probably figure that out for yourself. Profile you're going to want to use, wait, I don't know why that's set to high. It should be on main. And your frame rate, whatever floats your boat. I just leave it at NTSC because that's standard. Audio, you can do whatever. It's not incredibly important. Okay, and then you're going to want to render out whatever you're going to be using. Like, here's a little video right here that I've just edited. You're not going to hear any of the audio because I have that muted so that I can remove noise easier later. But yeah, you can see we got some stuff here. And then I've already rendered that out. So we have this here. Then you're going to want to download Xvid for PSP5. If you just Google that, you'll find it pretty easily. And then it's going to ask you for permission to run it, because it actually uses, like, directly uses your processor, unlike most things. So you're just going to want to drag and drop it. At least that's what I normally do. You can just open it normally with this button or Control O. But since I usually transcode things in bulk, I just drag and drop. Okay, and then for you're going to want to change some settings here. You're going to want to set it to MP4. And you're going to want to leave filtering and color correction disabled, unless you know what you're doing. And video encoding, you're going to want to set it to high 10 profile. It's very important, high 10 profile if you're getting it ready for YouTube. You're going to want to set the CRF at around 24. You can push that higher or lower. Lower number is higher quality, but it has a higher file size. I usually use 25 or around there for the actual video that goes up on YouTube. And then your tune, you're going to want to set that to film, unless you're uploading something that's actually animation. You can set still image if you're using a bunch of still images, but really, if you're using still images, you're probably going to want to set that to none. So set that to film, and then if your processor isn't extremely fast, you're going to want to use medium. Like, I have a beast processor, so I put it on slow or slower, depending. And then I just run it. So, and then audio encoding, the standard 0.45 variable bitrate works just fine. If you want higher quality, you can go to something better. Just, whatever you think's best. And then you're just going to want to save that. So I will just show you what it does when it comes up. So I need to go in here, misc, and I usually just rename it at the end, high 10p, blah, and then hit encode, and it's just going to come up and start encoding first the audio and then the video. And then once it's done doing that, it's just going to go ahead and mux the videos together into one file, or mux the audio and the video together into one file, and then that's what you upload to YouTube. This also works for transcoding anime. The only thing you really have to change here is, since you've got something that you're planning on watching on your own computer, you're probably going to want to set the quality higher, which means a lower number, and then you're going to need to set the tune to animation. It's not really hard to figure that part out. The only thing that is very important that you know is that at this time, you cannot throw anything that's high 10 profile into Vegas. So if you're transcoding something for later use in Vegas, make sure you set this to high. It's very important that you do that. Otherwise, you will not be able to use the file that comes out in Sony Vegas. I don't know about Premiere or any of the other programs, but Vegas does not like high 10 profile. Don't ask me why, it just doesn't. And then you're probably going to want to set something lower for that. For Fraps files, I can usually get away with setting it at 24.5. On DxTory, I can't get away with much more than 24.1. You guys can trial and error whatever numbers you want. Just keep an eye for banding. And just watch the quality. If you're happy with the quality, it's probably fine. Just remember that you gotta be happy with what you got before you delete the source material. And that'll have to be it for this time, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.